I'm 7 News reporter Jordan Johnson here in Salamanca. The New York State Board of Education has told school districts to remove Indigenous names, mascots, and logos. Here at the Salamanca City Central School District, they hope that their communication with the Seneca Nation is enough to keep their own.
District being on the Seneca Nation territory, the Ohio territory of the Seneca Nation, that we're a little bit different. Over 1/3 of our population identify as Native Americans, most of which are Senecas. Our current logo is that of a traditional Seneca male, and we have been referred to as the Warriors since the early 30s.
Salamanca School Superintendent Mark Beeler says a Seneca artist created the school logo. He says there have been community forums, student surveys, and some worry about removing what they believe is another piece of Indigenous history.
On the other side, we've heard from our Native population that Native history has their land being taken from them, their culture has been removed, and now perhaps even the symbols of their school that they attend will also be forced to be removed.
According to the National Congress of American Indians, New York State had 113 schools with Indigenous mascots, logos, or names last year. The New York State Board of Education amended regulations that say any schools that use an Indigenous name, logo, or mascot submit a resolution by the end of this school year stating the next steps to remove them. That change must be finalized and in place by 2025. But there are exceptions, including tribal schools and teams, or if the district has prior approval of a federally recognized tribal nation to use the name and mascot.
We will again meet with the Seneca Nation to share what the consensus from the community and from the students has been, and then we will basically sort of wait to hear what the state guidance is.
John Kane, a member of the New York State Education Department Advisory Council, says the imagery used for the schools is of stereotypes and is harmful.
Whether it's done in a derogatory fashion or not, white people, non-Native people, claiming our identity and acting some of that out is mockery, which is at the same time that these schools were adopting these Native mascots, Native kids were being ripped from their homes, from their communities, from their families, and sent off to those federally funded and state-funded Indian boarding schools.
Kane says it should be simple.
But get rid of the names that you've associated with that Native imagery for the last 5, 6, 7 decades, and make a clean cut.
The Seneca Nation calls the state education department's efforts a positive step, saying the dissemination of Native people should not be celebrated. The nation says it does remain willing to participate in further discussion with school districts. Jordan Johnson, 7 News, Salamanca.